Okay, so today we are making the fish kebab recipe. So we'd start off with just thinly slicing the ginger.
Because what we're doing here is we're making a marinade for the fish to accumulate in for a certain period of time.
And the ginger gives it a lovely, fresh taste.
What we did is we bought a whole load of ginger, and the idea is that we can come back and use this in any other recipes that we have over and over again, just sort of reduce the cost of the overall price.
Ginger's also quite cheap.
Yes, there's also that.
To use, I mean, we've got a load of this ginger stuff for approximately 50p, 69p.
Yeah. And consider we're only using the size of the one about the size of your thumb for a recipe for serve 2 people.
So just for this recipe, you just want to thinly slice it. I mean, it's all going into a food blender anyway, so there's no need to worry about that. Okay then, so now we need to get the juice and zest from a lemon. To get the zest, you just basically get a grater and just grate the peel of the lemon.
You don't want the secondary layer, because the peel is where the flavour is. The secondary layer is just the toughness, which protects it when it's growing. This is one of the best ways of maximising any flavour you can get from a lemon. You can use it in most things. My particular favourite is in treacle tart. However, the problem with this is it does leave bits in it, and it can frighten younger people, as I found out.
It's also, if you're going to do any like orange, any citrus recipes really, you want to do the same. So anyway, we've got the zest. No?
Yeah, we've got a good amount. If you wanted, you could have more.
Yes, it's just that we're not doing the full amount today, so be warned.
I'm just cutting it in half.
Mm-hmm.
Or JC wants to do it fancily.
Got a proper juicer, why not use it? You just want to squeeze all the last bits of the juice from the lemon out of there.
Yeah, don't worry if you squeeze any of the pulp out of this as well, because it will get caught.
There's a little catcher there.
That's what we're nominating it out. So you can see I'm not the strongest person here.
Okay then, so now we're just going to, instead of chopping up the garlic, because this is a marinade, we're just going to crush it in here. So you want to get one of these crushers.
How many cloves are in there, JC?
Just do one at a time really, for simplicity.
And how many are we going to put in?
We're going to put 2 in there for this one. So I like everything garlicky. Makes everything taste a hell of a lot better. Okay, and then the second clove. And then we're going to add in some of these very lazy red chilies, because I'm very lazy and can't be bothered to chop chilies. But these are quite a good alternative really. Get a teaspoon and just...
Also, once again, it's one of those things you can just use time and time again.
Yeah. So, there we go. Just put a good teaspoon or so of chili. In fact, I'm going to put an extra clove of garlic in.
Just because you like
I don't like garlic. And we put a bit too much. There's quite a lot of root ginger anyway, so...
We're just trying to balance out the flavours. Yeah. Of course, one of the great things of being a chef is you just taste it all the time and decide what you decide is the best flavour for you. This is what we consider is the best. Of course, feel free to make your own amendments to our recipes.
Yeah. Okay, and then just remember, you want a handful of mint in there, so just a few from our mint garden here.
Going in. Now, what we did was we got a pot, and the idea of this is that we can plant this somewhere in the garden, or indeed you can have it in a little pot in the house. And if you keep on watering it and fertilising it, it will give you an endless supply of mint. And mint is one of the more common recipes, especially when using lamb or other such things.
Okay, so now I've got a scrounger here. You'd like to use a food blender, but
they're currently out of action.
Mine broke. So we're going to just go here, so throw it, use it up.
Okay, so what JC's doing now is he's putting in a few tablespoons of yoghurt just to make it smooth. We tried whisking it up on camera, but it was a bit too loud. We've also put in 2 teaspoons of turmeric, haven't we?
Yep.
And now we're just
1 teaspoon, sorry.
1 teaspoon, yeah. We're just going to put it all together and hopefully mix it up.
Okay, so we've got the fish here, and we want to chop it into chunks of meat of a reasonable size. The tail's a little bit useless, but there we go. So you just chop it into sizes,
These have all got still skin on the bottom,
which we're going to remove.
Yeah, we'll remove later because it's easier to remove in smaller chunks than it is in one massive piece.
Okay, then, so now we've de-skinned it all. We're just going to dunk it in there, put it on there, and just give it a good soaking, and just lay it out.
And then what we're going to do, as soon as you finish that, is we're going to use these skewers to kebab it. Now, of course, you can use wooden skewers, and that's particularly good if you're going to barbecue it. But we're using these metal skewers because we want to be sustainable, and we're probably going to use these again at some point.
So, yeah.
There are many other suggestions, other things you can put on with the kebabs. Most notably, roasted vegetables are a very good idea. They're quite simple to make. You just put things like peppers, tomatoes, onions. You put them in an oven. You put them on a baking tray with some oil, and leave them in there until they're cooked. And then you can just skewer them on there and heat them up with the thing, or you can just leave them to cook on their own. You can also put potatoes on. That was the suggested serving with this. However, we decided that we wouldn't do that, and we just keep it to the basics and let you make your own decisions. Of course, if you're vegetarian, you can always just do it without the fish altogether and just have vegetable kebabs, and that is the same process. You can still use the marinade and so on, but of course make sure it's vegetarian based.
And now, what we do is we will close that in there.
We'll come back to it later.
And we shall come back to it later. Now, so, our kebab has finished being grilled. Don't drop the thing. Just transfer it onto a plate here. And that's that done. We can also just really get the most out of the marinade, which is still on the... here is just scrape a little bit of it on.
A little bit crispy, which gives it a nice edge.
It's quite a nice marinade, actually. Okay.
And there you have it.
There you have it.
That is our fish kebab.
Yeah.
The